Just sitting here enjoying the opening theme. Welcome back. We made it into the evening of day 7. That's about 1/7 of the way through the game, so I would say a week of these broadcasts, 12 hours a day, and we'll get through the entire game. Not hearing me. You're not seeing it. Oh, it's right. Is anyone hearing me or seeing me? After the end. All right. It's like Tommy. Hear me, see me. Practice starts.
What happened?
I could have put a real dart simulation there. Drop frames detected.
Huh?
Oh, I got some drop frames detected.
Corey,
What?
that's
What?
that isn't the same game.
It's the game you saved. Day 7.
Oh, all right. We'll start the football game. That's what you're supposed to do.
Ah.
But I don't see our people in their chairs. Oh,
Let's go talk to Katie.
talk to them.
Start the football game.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
It's about time. And I cut the top card. I hope that's a sign that my luck is good tonight. All right, Poobah. Is this our first time playing Poobah? During this live stream? Sorry?
I just got it. Yeah. Still a little blurry.
No, I asked if this is our first time playing Poobah.
Yes, it's the first time.
Okay, so Poobah is a ante-game. Like 7-card stud, everybody antes to begin with. As opposed to a blind game like Texas Hold'em. Technical terms here. Some of the technical terms in the box here are not quite right, but that's okay because it's our own thing. We have a bad meh. Now, if we remember our ranks, a wump was the worst hand, meh is the second worst hand, and a bad meh would be a low-ranking meh. So there's a really simple solution to this, and that's called fold. Don't play bad hands. Now, once Sean gets up to about 90 or 100 luck, he might be able to get away with playing a bad hand and gaming skill. But we have, in particular, Sosi being rich and aggressive, likes to raise everybody. It's a bad idea to stay in there when you've only got 49 lira to your name, or lyra. So Cairo won this one, and we have round 2, so we'll pay our ante. And look at our cards. And this time we have, Sean has drawn a Mimi. That's right in the middle hand, but people are checking. And one person bet. I think I might stay in with a Mimi on just Katie betting. I'll bet 2 and hope it doesn't get raised too much. And of course Esme raises. Joel folds. Sosi raises to 6. So he now says I have to pay 4 more lira to stay in. I think let's get out of this. We got people that think they have good hands. You can also look at the facial expressions of the characters. I'm not very good at reading them. But some of them will smile when they've got a good hand, And some of them will look very serious and grim when they have a good hand. And so you have to kind of learn each player's personality. So like Katie folded and gave a disgusted expression. But Esme looks pretty happy there, and she's been betting. She raised. So I would worry. And it's a good thing to be out of that. And she, in fact, won the hand. I didn't even see what she had. Something good. And you could tell just the way she was smiling. Sean has drawn a mare. You were doing a good job of not getting any cards today. But that's the nature of poker, is you fold a lot, and when you get a good hand, play it aggressively. And there's, different schools of thought on poker. Some are that it's all about the cards and the bet sizes, and some are that it's all about the bluffs and the reading the tells. And most pro player poker players that I've worked with have basically said that tells are much overrated, and if you play poker mathematically correct, you'll come out ahead. And most people do a very poor job of. Okay, Sosie has a good Mimi. Katie has a Fizbin. Esme has a Poobah, and so Esme won round 3 with a Poobah. Takes more than luck to win at Poobah, and that's true, but it's always lucky to get a Poobah. Larry, did you talk about the hand ranks at all here? Okay. So Fizbin is from a Star Trek episode. Sean has a good Mimi. It's an above-average hand. I'm just going to check it down. Try to keep the pot low for just a pretty good hand. And, of course, Sosie will bet to try to get people to fold, but I'm going to call that one. Fizbin is from a Star Trek episode where they basically made up a card game. They were playing in a world of gangsters. Now, I'm going to discard and draw, try to improve my Mimi. And I went up from a good Mimi to a bad Fizbin, which is just the next rank up. Let's try betting. Maybe I can get a couple more coins. Oh, he did a check raise, so he's pretty sneaky. We're going to call. Showdown begins. I have a bad Fizbin. He has a good mare, so he had really a terrible hand. And you could kind of tell by the way he played the early part of the round. So even with just a so-so hand, I managed to win that one. Slightly above average. The Grand Poobah, was that from Flintstones, or what was originally... Or no, it was from the Mikado, I think. From the Opera of the Mikado. And, okay, this time I have a Fizbin. That's a very good hand. Katie has bet. Let's just try calling. It's a good hand, but it's not unassailable. It'll lose to any sort of a Poobah. The idea on the Star Trek now, the question is, do I want to hold that or do I want to improve it? Katie discarded. She doesn't think she's a great hand. I think I'm going to hold that. And that may make him a little nervous that I have a really good hand. I'm just going to call because it's not a Poobah. Everybody raises. It's kind of scary, but I'm going to call anyway. This is a good way to lose money at poker, is calling too much and not raising enough. Yep, I had a Fizbin and she had a good Fizbin and one beat me. So I probably should have gone for the discard and draw. Okay, new hand. I have a good mare. Let's just get out of here. Check. Check it down if we can. If not, we'll fold if anyone bets. And Joe will bet. Sosie will probably raise. Yep. Sosie will raise and pretty much anything because he's got so much money he doesn't care if he loses it, and if he can bully people into getting out of the pot. In this case, Joel raised him back. So it's interesting. The two roommates are fighting it out. Sosie discarded. Cairo holds. I would say Joel has a really good hand here. And he got Sosie to fold finally. think there are 10 rounds in each night of Poobah. There were 5 or 6 nights altogether. Got a Mimi again, average hand. Joel bets, and Sosie raises. And I don't mind that too much, but when Katie raises and smiles, I think I'll get out of here. Let's let them play it out. And this is what most people do poorly at live poker is they play far too many hands. Much better off folding most of them and playing the ones that are worth playing. Paul Chapman says that Sosie has a Poobah. Is that because he has a very closed expression? If Katie smiles, she's bluffing, someone else says.
Yeah, they know it. Closing the eye.
Okay, so Sosie with the closed eyes is a Poobah. I am terrible at reading these expressions, but I can play poker. Sean has drawn a grand Poobah. I think maybe we'll play this one. Sosie bets 2. Thomas calls. Katie raises. I'm just going to call. I don't want to scare anyone out just yet. Esme raises. I was hoping that would happen. So we got a lot of good hands here, but Grand Poobah is guaranteed the best. The difference between this and live poker, regular poker, is that the rules of the game in Poobah is it is impossible, we're going to hold them of course, it is impossible for 2 people to have the same hand. If I have a Grand Poobah, nobody else has a Grand Poobah. If I have a bad Fizbin, nobody else has a bad Fizbin. Okay, got a couple folds already in front of me, but I'm just going to raise. At this point, you know, stop hiding the cards. I've got the best hand. I want to win as many lira as possible. Sosie had a bad Fizbin. I had a Grand Poobah. Esme had a good Fizbin. And, of course, the Grand Poobah wins it. And Sean says, thank you for all your generous contributions to the Sean O'Connor Retirement Fund, which is much like donating to Kickstarters or live streams. Is that helps keep us going. Sean may not look it, but he needs every chip he can get, because that's how he's eventually going to get himself a school uniform and stop getting in trouble with Turk. I have a good meh. Let's just check it down, if I can. Usually somebody bets, but this time everybody checked it around. Nobody's got a great hand. But we managed to stay in this for basically 1 chip, so we can discard and see if we can improve this. And I actually went down from a good meh to a meh. So this is a really good hand to fold if anybody bets anything. You could try bluffing with it, but it's kind of hard to bluff this crowd, especially when there's 6 other people in 5 other people in the pool. So we're just going to check it down and lose. If there had been 1 other player or 2 other players, I could have tried betting my terrible hand. And look at this. We've got a good Mimi wins the hand for Thomas Kent. So nobody had much there. But my man was worse. And then Joel comes in and says, ladies and gentlemen, our gaming time is nearly over. 1 more deal, and luck will decide the winner. Katie says, let's deal the cards to get this over with before Turk comes to shut us down. She's always the realist here. So I will ante for the final hand. Let's hope we get something good. Cards are dealt. And I get a meh. Alright, let's try betting and seeing if we can bluff anybody out. Get Esme out of it. Get Joel out. And Sosie, who's been sitting there with that smug expression, raised me. But it's only 2 chips. Let's discard and see what we can do with it. My meh went all the way up to a bad Mimi. Cesare is holding, and I have kind of a feeling that I'm in trouble. But for 2 chips, I'll call, just to see what he has. It's the only way you can learn what his expressions mean. And he had a good Fizbin. So that's what I get for playing a meh. Well, it's only my due, says Sosie. And Turk comes in and says, curfew time, no exceptions. We have kind of a sad melody from Aeolus here. Make a note, Lori, in the next patch, when you go to your bedroom, we need to force you into walk stance. It disables running while you're in here. You can't start running, but if you were running, it leaves you there. Maybe if we give him a gift, he'll feel better. But we have nothing to give him. Talk to him. Try to cheer up Aeolus. You seem kind of down. Maybe if you played a cheerier tune in your pipe, would make you feel better. He just shrugs. How about what's new? Hey, Aeolus, writing new songs today? Shrug. He's all depressed. It's getting late. Maybe you should try to get some sleep. Shrug. Why don't you stop playing so I can get some sleep then? Sigh. And there's a 10 o'clock gong. Let's see. Lori's been playing for a while, so I need to check on quests. We're playing Poobah tonight. We have the mystery patron. I didn't tell Turk that I still have the coin. Maybe I can use it in the future. In the meantime, I told Turk that the one-eyed man took the coin. I'll bet those two will get along together like cats and dogs, to say not very well. We're still trying to improve our lockpicking. Still trying to dress for success. And we need to find out whether we pass the first rogue test, but that'll come. Looking at our character sheet, we find our perception and our throwing are our best stats. Dual use up to 28. That's getting there. I'm not sure what you need for to complete that quest. In the meantime, I can go running down to the classroom corridor. Let's try this door. This is the classroom door. Listen at it. Don't hear anyone, but I got some perception. Pick the lock. I'm in. Okay, we finally got good enough to get into the classroom. And we have various props and things. So we can see what's in the crates. Look at the crate. Probably just more equipment. New stuff, I hope, since the equipment we have is looking pretty ratty. Let's open it. Nailed firmly shut. Steal the crate. It's too heavy to move. How about this one? Take an item from the crate. Qatar, Tekko, Bagnaka. These are all useless to me. I don't even know how to use the Tekko and Bagnaka, and I never learned how to play the Qatar. So we have strange things that are unfamiliar to Sean. Go over and look at von Orvald's bookshelves. Read a book. Can't believe how dry most of these books sound. Look at this one. 5,000 Shades of Grey. Typed and classified. I mean, at least it has pictures. Sort of. As expected, the bookshelves are full of books. Let's read another book. Look at this one. Thrilling Tales of Botany and Botanists. I think there's at least a couple of oxymorons hidden in that title somewhere. So, basic ideas. Sean couldn't care less about those books. Let's go look at this plaque, though. Looks like a list of something. This is the one we were told were the rogue rules. And what? It's Abject Nabor Evimsik. It's all in black letter and doesn't make any sense at all, but it does have 6 rules, just like the 6 rogue rules we were told. Here, however, is a clue here. The end of it, with that little dash, looks like a signature. And it just happens to have the same number of letters as Master Gerhard von Orvald. So if we were to translate these into those letters, then maybe we could solve this cipher. Don't think I have a reason to say this. Look at it. Wait, I thought this was supposed to be a list of the rules for rogues. It looks like gibberish, or maybe some sort of code. So that's really just an Easter egg for people from the old School for Heroes, or people that, you know, want to be able to send secret messages to each other. There's a large cabinet with a large lock, clearly designed to taunt rogues. I'm going to change my music settings. My headset. My headset has gotten a little loud. Let's try to pick the lock. Tool use increased, so this was a good tool use attempt. This lock is tougher than it looks. I'm going to need to brush up on my tool use skills before I can get this. Cabinet is too heavy to move, so we can't look behind it. And I'm going to pop out here and go over to the lock room because obviously my lock picking needs some work. Listen at the door, pick the lock. It's not quite 11. We might be able to get away with trying one of these lock. Oh, we don't want to do locker 3. Let's try a different one. Let's go over to locker 9. Practice lockpicking for an hour. There's absolutely no difference between them, but feels like I should be doing something going to a different locker. All it takes is a light touch, and tool use increased. So now we're all the way up to 32 tool use, and maybe we can pass some lockpicking tests. This door over here is Gerhardt's Officer Master von Orvald's office. Plaque of the door says Master von Orvald. The sign next to it says the instructor is out. I don't know if we've visited his office at all, but there are, you know, if you come in the afternoon after class, you can actually meet with von Orvald outside of class and discuss stuff with him. There's an odd sort of lock on this door. I'll bet there's a trap. We can try knocking on the door. But the master's not in his office right now. I can try picking the lock. Said, this lock should be easy enough to pick. Sure. There, got it. Wait, what? Ah! So, maybe one should not try to break into the instructor's office. Let's see what that did to me. Well, it only did a few points of stamina damage. Wasn't trying to kill me. Okay, I tried to open the door since I picked the lock earlier, but it seems the door automatically relocks itself when it shuts. How convenient. Pick the lock again. Let's try another one of these lockers. Locker 25, practice lockpicking. It's too late. I'm too dull to do this right now, but maybe we can do a regular lock. Pick the lock. Nope, won't let you pick locks after midnight. Funny thing that. Let's look at this statue. Ah, that's clearly Sister Dominique Decker, the nun who was forbidden by her order from singing publicly, so she disguised herself as a bard and traveled the world. She became the greatest contralto bard in history. Bard nun! Search the statue. The only loot here is the one the bard is playing. The statue, given my ground speed, when laden with a 1,000-pound hunk of oblong rock, I think the statue is going to have to move itself under its own power. It's a little Monty Python ground speed of an unladen swallow reference. Is this what they mean by getting a higher education? Let's go fresh freshen up a little. That was refreshing. And then it's bedtime. Open the door. Aeolus is fast asleep and snoring. Junk and his clothes are still there. Let's search through the clothes pile. Yeesh. Aeolus is sloppier than a pigsty. Clean up the pile? No way I'm wasting my time cleaning up Aeolus's mess. He needs to do it. That's how our reputation's doing. Aeolus is just up to acquaintance level. He's not quite a best friend yet, so it's going to be hard to talk him into do anything. But bedtime for Bonzo. Feels good to sleep in. Since there's no class, I think I'll have a nice large breakfast today. Nothing like a leisurely breakfast without the rush off to Disbarred Bard's class, is there? Yeah, I'm heading to town today to check on the inn and get away from here, so I better get going. Katie helps run an inn for sailors. What about you, Thomas? You going to hang out in the library all day today? I will be heading to Caligari today, too. I need different shoes if I'm going to improve my Kukenshaba skills. These ones that aren't too squeaky or too loud. Quiet shoes. And Aeolus says, some other bards and I are going to do some busking today. Maybe we'll make some money. What of you, Sean? Are you going to town today, too? Of course, Sean doesn't want to admit the fact that he's not allowed to leave the school. Good, he could say he's stuck in school. Can make up an excuse. Or he could say something snarky about Caligari and why he doesn't want to go to the city. Let's make up an excuse. I thought I would hang out here at the school. After all, I was born in Caligari. I know all the secret ways around the town. I'm sure that there are a few new things to discover around here. Good luck with your hunting, then. Well, have fun in town, everyone. And Esme liked that approach. Because you're basically saying you're going to work hard. It's now 11 in the morning. We're not used to having all this free time. What was the dinner menu? Well, tonight we're going to have Sardonian specialties. Scampi stew, pane carousel, and my favorite, katsumatsu. Yum, there's nothing better than rotten cheese with live maggots in it. And again, it could be an acquired taste. That is actually the way they cure a particular type of cheese. It's at the infirmary. And Moira says, "'Tis glad I am to see you on your feet again. I hope you're feeling better today, Sean. You were in sorry shape the last time I helped you. Please take better care of yourself." I will, I promise. Come up and talk to her now. Hi, I'm Sean O'Connor. I just got here. Oh, we never talked about that before. We never talked to Moira. So we have the opening introductory thing, even though she's cured you. She hasn't really met you. A pleasure it is to meet you, Sean. You have a bit of lilt in your voice. Did you two come from Ire? Was that slightly better Irish? My parents did. I was born here in Sardonia. I hope you'll be liking it here at the school. What class is it that you're taking? You can say the rogue class, the Disbarred Bards class, or be evasive. Well, let's be evasive. I'm really just checking things out now to see how things work out. Seeing as how you're an instructor, maybe I should be a paladin. Sorry, Sean, but it takes more than just a class to make a paladin. It takes a strong sense of justice and the determination to make the world better. You could ask about the infirmary or ask about paladins. So, what is a paladin? A paladin is someone who dedicates his or her life to the principles of justice and fairness. A paladin is someone who helps others and who strives to change the world around them for the better. It's more of a calling than it is a profession or a class. And we can ask about the infirmary. So what's this infirmary? It looks like some beds and a bunch of desks. What do you do? Sit around and learn about sick people? Well, the infirmary is where sick or injured people come, but they try to heal them up quickly. This room also serves as a first aid classroom for people who want to learn more about healing and staying healthy. And then say goodbye is the only option. I'll be seeing you some other time then. If you're ever hurt or ill, come see me here. I'll have you hale or hearty, and hearty as soon as I can. And when you want to learn more about healing, take my first aid class elective if you get the chance. It's always good to be taking care of yourself. Here, take this bandage. It's just one of the things I'll be teaching about in first aid, and I'm sure that you'll find a good use for it. So good day to you, Sean. I hope you like it here. Just go very stealthy. See if anybody hit anything in the couches. Maybe she won't notice. Look under the sofa. Not even a hint of dirt. The staff here is absolutely scrupulous. Search the sofa cushions. No money. Rats. How about the flowering plant? Look at the plant. Now this is exotic. I don't think I've ever seen these growing around here, but somebody is clearly excellent with plants. Search it. There's nothing hidden in this plant. There is something behind the pot. Looks like I might have rolled there. That's a bottle of healing pills. Finders keepers, acquired healing pill 5. Yeah, it's not steal the plant. That'd be a little too obvious. But now we've got a bandage. We've got 5 healing pills. We still have that healing potion we never used. And we've got 76 lira. We're feeling pretty flush right now after being poor most of the game. Poobah really helps if you're a little careful and don't lose too much on the losing hands. So we can go sneak down to the store or run there. Open the door. Welcome, young master, to Gregor's store. Have you come to buy or sell or perhaps chat with Gregor? We can shop at school store. Alright, we got 76 lira. It'll cost us 15 for a tie. 20 for the pants is 35. School uniform jacket, 55. And the shirt, 70. Do we really want to spend almost all of our money getting ourselves in a uniform? And it comes down to how important it is to us. What do you think, people? Should Sean buy a uniform, or should he save up his money? You can always do some more work or kill some more drats. Says the tie gives you a pretty good bump on charm, says Julie. Good night, Alma. Good having you here. Still dropping some frames occasionally, but not as many as before. Alright, let's pick up a school uniform tie. You won't find a finer official Hero University blue tie than this, young master. We had a bit of a controversy with the tie because originally the tie was described as gold, and we had a gold tie, but it turned out that in Thomas Kent is wearing a blue tie, and some other portraits we had blue ties, and we finally ended up having to change the tie to blue. Travis says, I'd go to the thrift store for clothes. Well, if we had one, if we but had one. I think having another throwing knife might be useful. Those are 20 lira. I think I'd rather buy that, personally. Can only use 2? Oh, because there's only time for that? Well, if you got one in something in a trap. Does he sell traps?
If you get it in a trap, it's close enough to stab it.
Ah. Let's talk to Rayor. Nope, say goodbye. He had no new lines, so no options for talking. See if he'll allow me to go into the wine cellar during the day on a holiday. This is the door. There's rats running around the room. What a surprise. Good hunting, says Gregor. Now, normally he only allows you to hunt at night, but he knows that this is a day off for the school, so I can actually come down here during the day. I have my new tie, but I'm not going to put it on just yet because I might get it dirty. Oh, unless, of course, if there's a wolf in here. Quick, let's put on our tie. Fine dagger. Oh, I have a fine dagger in inventory. I'm still using a regular dagger. Let's go swap that out. Got the fine dagger equipped now. That'll give me some combat pluses. There is a wolf there, but it doesn't seem to be attacking. Better sneak past it. But I'm too curious. A terrifyingly powerful creature that looks like a wolf, but it's obviously something more. Let's interact with the wolf. A nice doggy, or wolfie. Try to pet the wolf. Nice boy. Looks like a scritch behind the ears. Alright, no touchies. Got it. Okay, I'll just leave your drat pile alone. You can go your way and I'll go mine. Are we good? I'll take that as a yes. You're doing a fine job of cleaning out this wine cellar. Next time, leave some drats for me to catch. So, the human disbarred bard just can't quite compete with a wolf when it comes to hunting drats. Let's see what's going on beyond the gate. Listen. Sounds like drats on the other side. Well, maybe the wolf didn't get all of them. Or maybe Sean's hearing things. Oh, there's a drat. Yay. I can throw one of my knives. And throw the new one. Ha-ha! Killed it without taking a lick. Not even from the wolf. Stealth increased. Nothing like the odor of dead drat. Nothing left but fleas. Okay, have we opened the wine press room yet? Let's examine the gate. Looks familiar. Didn't I see something just like it a minute ago? No, I should see on the other side. This is a surprisingly complex lock for a wine cellar, but I'm pretty sure my skills are up to it. So let's try to listen. Can't hear anything moving around on the other side, but for some reason it feels colder over there. Weird. The bars of this gate seem warm enough. Anybody have a bad feeling about this? I'm going to try to pick the lock anyway. Let's see if I've got the elite tool use skills to get this lock open. Yeah, I've grown a beard since we started this chat. Yes! Practice makes perfect. Sean 1, lock 0. And in we go. Maybe there'll be something more exciting on the other side of the gate. Brr, this room seems colder than the rest of the wine cellar. Something sent a chill up my spine. I don't see any sign of drats in this room, or anything else that's alive and waiting to eat me. That could be a good sign. Let's see, some bottles over here. Look at them. Ooh, this one looks like it might have some wine left in it. Could it be? Huh. Completely empty. That's what I call a cork tease. There's a little of that ribald humor. There's a press screw in the middle of nowhere. That's kind of odd. Examine the press screw. Odd, I assume this was taken from one of the barrels for pressing the grapes, but it seems to be attached to the floor. Handle still turns, and it looks like it screws into the floor. We could move it, screw it, or done. If you feel lucky, sure, let's try screw it. Okay, what happens when I turn this screw? Okay, it clearly did something, but what? Some More crates over here. Look at the crates. Next time I have to move, I know where to find boxes. Anybody ever have trouble finding boxes when you want to move, and the rest of the time you got boxes all over the house in the way? Ah, searched this one and found a leather jacket in good condition. I guess it pays to search everything. Acquired leather jacket. Let's go to our equipment, and there it is. We now have a leather jacket we can put on. It's not an official school uniform, but it says it offers some useful protection in combat. Thanks, Anna. Look at the wine press. Only one. That's one way to stop the presses. Turn the press screw. The what now? This one is missing its press screw, and that's because it's over there. But touch the floor. Kind of weird. Try another wine press. Turn the press screw. You know, that vat might have a rat or two in it, but you need at least 9 or 10 to make a reasonably full bottle of Van de Verman, or Vermin wine. Let's try this one over here. Look at the wine press. It looks like it could be used again with nothing more than a good cleaning. Oh, except for this little pouring thing at the bottom. It's loose. I think it's a pun. Turn it. I'm not getting up on the table just to twist that thing. I'd have to be some kind of crank. Got one wine press left. Look at the wine press. It looks like it's in perfectly good condition except for the scum. But he's probably upstairs catching students from the hall. Turn the press screw. You have to stand on the table to turn. I don't trust the table to hold my weight. Anyway, I don't want to see what might come out. Anyone notice anything different here? That hole in the wall that says secret door was closed before. Apparently, turning that screw. See, I do everything out of order. Let's go see what's in there. Look at the open secret door. Well, this is definitely not open like this before. Turning the screw must have opened it. Let's go see what's the other side. Go through the door. Okay, nothing has attacked me from behind the opening. That's a good start. Guess it's safe to check it out. I hope it's safe to check it out. I've got the scene all out of order because of turning the screw too early, but it doesn't matter. Okay, this is ominous. A skeleton sitting in the ground next to a small pile of bones is here to begin with. But when there's writing in the wall and what looks like blood, I really get creeped out. The wall says Aquino. Skeleton, some debris in the corner. There's a grate. Let's look at the grate. Someone or something managed to bend these bars. Whatever it is, I don't want to be here when they make a return visit. Reach through the grate. It's very dark in there. I can't see in for more than a couple feet. I could be bitten or grabbed. I can even imagine something pulling me in so hard that they pull my arm off or crush my shoulders and actually stuck me in there. Plus, I left my death wish in my other pants. Let's look through the debris here. See, I would have just swept everything into that grate over there, out of sight, out of mind. Sifting through the debris, I'll kick it around a little. A lot of drat bones, broken bottles, and construction material. No drat nest, though. Is that near the grate? It looks like a strap of leather. It's a belt that some drat tried to drag away with. What? Let me write that down. It's a belt that some drat tried to drag away with. It's got a nifty buckle on it. That's a typo. I know, and we never fixed it. It probably belonged to poor Mr. Bones over there, but he doesn't really need it, seeing as how he doesn't have any pants to hold up. And we acquired the Cat Burglar Belt. It's all mine now. And as one learns from role-playing and adventure games, it pays to search everything and pick up everything. Cat Burglar Belt. Deep blue belt is highlighted by pale blue stitching and a black cat design in the silver buckle. It's truly magical, adding slightly to both defense and stealth. Alright, well, we need that. We now have a belt. Got lots of modified stats now from all our equipment. Let's see up. Let's examine the skeletal remains. What could possibly go wrong? Examine the skeletons. These bodies have been here a long time. There's nothing much left of them but bones. It sort of looks like someone passed out after too much drinking, and the smaller skeleton looks like it could have been a cat. So how did they end up trapped in this sealed room with some name scrawled in blood and wine across the wall? Huh. Got really cold here all of a sudden, like I was walking in a grave. Which I guess is just what I'm doing here right now. Take the bones. Oh, it's just a thing to add to my collection, which is exactly the sort of thing a person going to Villain University would say. Me? I've already collected the whole set. Okay, so I don't really collect bones. Aeolus would have a fit if I put them in our room, but then again, he'd probably never notice them in all the clutter. I can take a closer look at them to see what happened to this poor guy. Uh-oh, ghost. Yikes! 2 ghosts. Whoa! Ghost Burgundy. And Ghost Cat Chianti. Rawr! I really wish I could speak ghost. I'm sure you're trying to tell me something. And wait a sec, we have a new quest. How to talk to ghosts. I need to find a way to talk to ghosts and understand what they are saying. Okay, well, let's get out of here. But somehow we're going to have to learn how to talk to ghosts. It's cold in here. Makes me feel sad and lost. Guess that's why there aren't any drats around. This room makes them cry. It's hard to be a tough dire rat when you're bawling your eyes out. Sneak out of here. So I got 2 nice new pieces of equipment and a quest. It's looking a little crowded. Ooh, didn't quite finish that one off. Defense increased. Whenever you get hit in combat, it has a chance to improve your defense. Let's finish that one off. I'm going to use a trap on that. I'd rather destroy it in peace rather than be hit by it over and over again. And between my attacks and the trap, we take it down. Dead Drat is where it's at. Many parts are edible, in theory. That's that old Yul Gibbons environmental commercial. Good. And that ambush strat got me again. I guess I really ought to be in stealth when I change scenes here. But Sean's pretty good at this point. He can take drats down a lot faster than you can get him. As you know, hunting drats is getting to be tiresome. There's got to be a better way to make some lira around here. I want to use the World of Warcraft rogue skill of being able to sneak and sprint at the same time. It doesn't actually make any sense. Let's see if he's in range for a trap. There we go. And then we'll just beat it up. Cut it up. Here's a piece that's especially succulent. Ugh. So we decided to be generous with players and let them just reuse that trap. We could have made it part of the scarcity economy and where you're constantly buying traps, but it's not actually that much fun to be broke. I'm going back up to the store. Too much dark down here, not enough wine. Oh, Travis, I've been a WoW addict for close to the beginning. Every once in a while I quit the game for a year or so to actually get some work done, but it's I keep coming back. He's in the dungeon. Very good work, Mr. Sean. Please come back if you find any more drats or approaches in the dungeons. I'm happy to buy them from you. In fact, we've talked about, at one point Sierra was looking at doing a World of Quest for Glory and doing a massively multiplayer game based on it. They were a little bit too early with, that was in the time of the Realm, and they were going to rebrand the Realm as World of Quest for Glory. And we discovered that the Realm didn't actually have any quest mechanism built in, and we didn't think you could do a Quest for Glory without having questing. Kind of hard. When people ask now, what about a multiplayer Quest for Glory? We'd really have to say World of Warcraft comes about as close as anything we've seen to being a multiplayer Quest for Glory. So it's kind of the game that we would have liked to have designed. I'm going to ask Gregor about the wolf in the wine cellar. Maybe he knows something about it. Why is there a wolf in the wine cellar? Gregor does not understand, Master Sean. The wine cellar is drats. The wine cellar is approaches. The wine cellar is spiders and bugs and other unpleasant creepy crawlies. The wine cellar has no wolves. Wait a sec. I saw one there. Talk to Gregor. Yep, say goodbye. It's all he'll say to me. Shop at school store. Well, I'm up to 51 lira. Bought the tie. Let's see about getting the uniform pants and the jacket. And I don't know if we're required to buy the shirt or not. And we can't afford it, so I guess we won't. But go into our equipment and put on the uniform jacket instead of the ratty jacket we found in the basement. And put on some nice school pants. And Sean's starting to look pretty spiffy. Don't know if truck requires the nice shirt or not, but it's what I can afford. Okay, well, thank you, Buck. Nice donation. Let's leave the room. Here we go again. What the donations do is they basically build up our PayPal account, and that lets us pay contractors. We use the PayPal for people that are in other countries. And right now it is only 12:50 p.m. It's still daytime. So one thing we can do over here, let's walk at normal pace. Let's go back to the infirmary, because I think we got tickled a little by those rats. And maybe Moira will help us out with that. You look hurt. Let me help you. Here, drink this potion. Should ease the pain. But the American healthcare system could rely on readily available potions. I guess we have prescription drugs. Not quite the same thing, though. It says if you're going to danger, you really should be carrying a healing potion in case of emergencies. I haven't the heart to tell her that I stole a bottle of healing pills from the... I didn't steal them exactly. I found them on the floor. It was a target of opportunity. Gosh, what am I going to do with the whole afternoon to myself? Have we been up to the Tower Garden? Let's go run over to Darla's wing here. Let's hit the door. Yep. Still daytime, so I'm not willing to try that. Turns out there's a staircase in the back here. Goes down to the infirmary and up to the garden. And we have a view here overlooking Sardonia. This scene actually took a surprising amount of work to do because we've got the clouds in the sky, we've got the looking out on the city. There's a plaque on the bench. It says, Mignon's Longing Tower Garden. Something to do with some guy named Goethe. Or maybe very thick steaks, as in filet mignon. Better look it up. So this Tower Garden was dedicated to one of our backers, called himself the Gardener, and he's the one that has a portrait in the dining hall. And is really one of our more generous backers and also one of our biggest critics of every little plot element that wasn't quite to his liking. So, keeps us honest. The impossibly large, cream-colored blossoms have a sweet aroma. The problem, of course, with being honest is that on our limited budget, we have to make hard decisions sometimes about what content, when to cut stuff off, when it's good enough. And we could have made this a 10 or 15-year development effort. But sooner or later, you have to say, ship it. And that was Ken Williams' favorite line at Sierra. As soon as anything was remotely closed, looked anything like a game, he'd say, ship it. Because it was time to move on to the next game. And in practice, we didn't actually ship them until they were more or less ready. These flowers are so big you could beat someone over the head with them. I guess they'd end up getting pistol whipped. They'd probably have a stigma about flowers forever. I'd reduce them to a stamen pile of, well, you get the idea. Ew. Search the plant. I don't see anything in here that doesn't belong to the plant. This garden will become important later if we decide to take the first aid class, because this is the plants hither, thither, and yon. If we decide to take the first aid class, we'll be looking for mushrooms to make all of our different potions and bandages. And this is a good place to find mushrooms going under the plants. Other good places are the sea caves that we haven't discovered yet. Oops. And the courtyard. So, back out to the mezzanine. Let's go check in on Sophia, and see how she's doing. Just at the door, don't hear anything. Open the door, it's locked. Pick the lock. Okay, so this door is closed because it's a holiday. Got it. Now I can reconnoiter the reception room. Here you sign in. Okay, Sophia's not here. We can go search her desk if we want. Could be interesting, but if there's one person around here I don't want to risk angering, it's Sophia. In her position, she's the one who can make things happen or not make things happen. Let's look under the desk. Whatever's under there is pretty much squished by now. At the desk, I guess I want to make good first impressions, so. Guess what? Not going to let me do anything here, even though Sophia isn't here. Look at the cabinet. She's going to need a bigger cabinet. Is that a line to, we're going to need a bigger boat? Yeah, from the movie Jaws. I can't imagine what I'd find that wouldn't bore me to death. Visitor sign-in books? Supply requisition forms? I'll skip it. Done. Files. The shelves and drawers look stuffed to capacity. Search the files. Huh. Looks like Sophia keeps her files in some kind of hieroglyphics. I can't make heads or tails of them. Now that... oh wait, that's just her handwriting. Look at the files. I'm sure Sophia knows where to find exactly what she's looking for in there. She's probably the only one, too. She wields awesome power. Maybe I can get out the door of the school and finally get to freedom because she's not here. Open the door. Wait, there's no keyhole. How can I pick a lock when there's no keyhole? Look at the journal. Let's go see what the journal entry just was. No way out. The front door of the castle has no keyhole. What good is it to learn how to pick locks when there's no lock to pick? If I want to get out of here, I'll have to either fail the class early or pass the class later unless I can find another way out. And I'm still trying to learn how to pick locks. Not sure why I haven't gotten that one yet. Some of them we may be a little pickier on skills than others. Let's open the door to the library. It's open. Yeah, the librarian's here as usual. He doesn't take any days off. Let's see what's in this giant book. Hey, the book has turned to another page. Together with the High Prince of Albion and a young warlock named Aquino, Cirrus Veliana. Doesn't that name Aquino sound familiar? I just saw this down in the basement. Cirrus Veliana, Wizard Mortuai, Sir Hans, Sir Jameson Wim desperately fought their way to the Chaos Gate. The battle between the forces in chaos and the heroes shook the world and obliterated the city of Londinium. The High Prince of Albion fell beneath a demon's claws just as they reached the gate. While Sir Hans, Sir Jameson Wim desperately fought to hold the demonic hordes at bay, Veliana, Aquino, and Mortuai began the ritual to close the Chaos Gate, but even as they chanted, the gate bulged and Gorgoloth began to ooze into our world. And I can't turn the page to find out whether they drove Gorgoloth back to the Chaos Realm or not. And the librarian says, given that this happened in the past, you can reasonably assume that they succeeded. Hey, no spoilers! Ask about the book. I wonder what makes that book special. The history of the castle was handwritten years ago by Sir Sheraton Burgundy, just before his mysterious disappearance. This is the original manuscript. That was the ghost's name, Burgundy. So we've got some plot lines coming together here. And I really need to learn how to speak to ghosts so I can find out what went on. Librarian said, sadly, while this book is unique and invaluable, the book is of little interest to the outside world. Most of the history of the Knights Luminar has been forgotten by all but a few scholars. Okay, we're working on lockpicking. We're in the daytime for the change, so let's go read the lockpicking book and see if we can get a few points from it. Now, I could have bought that lockpicking book from the bookstore, and if I had done that, I could study it every night in my room. I could study Hide and Go Sneak, which would improve my stealth, another Disbarred Bard book, or Beginner's Lock, Guide to Picking Locks. Let's study all the way till supper time. We've got all afternoon. And my smarts and tool use both increased. And Sean says, okay, I learned a little from rereading the book, but now I need to practice picking a few locks. And there's the supper bell. Hi, Leo. How you doing? Listen at the painting. It's really weird, but I swear I hear panting. I wonder if I can open this painting yet. Do not disturb the painting. I guess not. Why does he keep it in here if it's so creepy? No, nor are game designers ever happy with their work. We do the best we can, but there's never enough time. It's not like anything's going on in the rec room right now. I could study the Poobah book some more. I don't know if you get any more skill from that. A few section and hand ranks. And we have the same basic stuff. I know I can practice for half an hour, practice card theory for a half hour. That increased my luck in my gaming. This would be so much easier if Gregor sold marked cards. Whoa, it's the last call for supper time. I better scurry. And of course, some of the rogues probably do cheat at Poobah. But it wouldn't be very heroic to do that. Nobody's around to talk to. But the food's still good. Let's see if we can do work when there's no other students there. I need to replenish some of that cash I spent on a school uniform, which I've forgotten to put on, and that, of course, is one of the biggest challenges, is once you get your uniform, remembering to put it on every time you're likely to run into Turk. Hi! There is something about you that says the Doopies. They'd be wanting to talk to you. Doopies? Ask about Doopies. What's a Doopie? Dupes are the spirits of the dead. The ones in the castle, they are not dangerous. They just have something that troubles their souls, so they cannot find peace. But some Dupes, they are so full of spite and ill will that they want to destroy the living. You best stay away from the bad Dupes. It takes much magic to deal with bad Dupes. Ask about magic. What kind of magic is used against Dupes? My people, they mostly set out protections to keep the bad Dupes at bay. They find ways to appease the bad Dupes and send them back to the Greylands. Here, though, the wizards make magical runes. They have runes that Dupes cannot cross. They have runes that stop a Dupe's magic. They have runes that tear apart a Dupe's spirit. If you want to know how to use wizard magic, you need to take a wizard class. If you just want a few protective runes, you should be speaking with Mr. Gregor at the store. I'm going to ask about ghost dogs. What about ghost cats? Why would a dog become a ghost? With cats, when they die, most are so full of curiosity that they go to the Greylands to see what they can see. Now, some dogs, they're so full of loyalty, they'd rather stay and protect the ones they love. The dog Dupes are here all the time. You just can't always see them. They scare the bad Dupes away. Well, we'd better ask about bad Dupes. Why are some Dupes bad? Why are some people bad? People who are bad when living will be even worse when dying. All their anger, their envy, their jealousy, it festers their soul. What little good they once had in life is lost. Ask about talking to the dead. How can I speak with ghosts? Anyone can be speaking to ghosts. The listening part, that'd be harder. To most people, the voice of a Dupe is like the wind wailing in a storm. To understand what the Dupes say, you will need a magical charm or a magical spell. I can make you a Gree Dupe charm if you truly want to be speaking with them. Really, that's gray. But that's because of the Greylands. This you must first know. To speak with the dead, you must touch the dead. Every touch you make, some of your life force be drawn away. Too much talking, and you will be entering the Greylands too. So answer this, Mr. Sean O'Connor. Do you truly wish to speak with the dead? And you can agree to speak, say no, or say something snarky. Well, I'm going to agree to speak because that's what I'm here for. Yes, I'd like to be able to speak with the dead. Hola! A speak with dead Gree be dangerous to make and dangerous to use. To make a speak with dead Gree, you will first need to gather 3 things. The first is hair from a dead man's head. The second is the deadly mushroom that grows only on a murdered man's gravesite, the death's head. And the third thing is the dust of a ghost. This must be caught in this special vial. Take it, use it well. Acquired a ghost dust vial, and we have a quest to get some ghost dust. Bring these 3 things to me, and I shall make you a Gree that will let you understand what the Dupes be wanting to say to you. This is the biggest, closest thing we have to a quest line in the game, and you actually cannot complete this yet. It's a little early in the game. We've gotten into Burgundy's bones very early by really building up our lockpicking, and so until we can find those things, we're not going to be able to complete this. So it's going to stay around for a while. You've chosen a very interesting path to follow. May it lead you to something worth finding. And then we'll ask about working in the kitchen. Do you have some work for me to do? There's much work for you to do. Let's get started. There we go. Kitchen cleaning is an endless task. Even with everybody out in town, there's still an infinite number of dishes to do. I swear they import them. You did good work, Miss Sean. Good job. Well, let's make a Gree. You'll need to be finding some hair from a dead man before I can make you a Gree. Yep. Can't cheese it. Gotta do all the quests. But at least we got a few lira. And That took us up to 8:36 p.m. I wonder if Thomas is back and can eavesdrop. Let's go to the faculty lounge and listen. I don't hear anyone in there right now. Well, that sounds like time to try picking the lock. Nope, this is a really bad time for it. Too early. Gotta get there late at night. Listen at Darla's door. Nothing going on there. Let's see, I wonder if we can get some dead man's hair from Burgundy. I don't think so. There was just a skeleton, no hair there. Have to find a more recent dead. What we can do is go down to our classroom and keep working on our lockpicking until we get decent at it. Good luck. I'm in. Let's work on that cabinet some more. Good luck. This lock is tougher than it looks. No, not ready for it yet. Keep trying. And when you try to pick it again, now a lot of places in Quest for Glory and a few places in Hero U, we allow you to just try it over and over again. Pick the lock, pick the lock, pick the lock. But this one is actually programmed for it, so I'll come back when I know how to pick the lock. So we didn't want you to just, build your scale in one place. You have to kind of move around and do some things. Pick the lock and lock room, tool use increased. Let's do one of these lockers. Try it in the back of the room. Locker 14, practice lock picking for an hour. This one seems trickier than most. But I got a tool use increased. And it's now curfew time. I'm going to be careful Turk doesn't find me. But since I'm down here in the disbarred bard area, he doesn't come down here. Listen at the door. Can't hear anything. Open it. Since he doesn't come down to the disbarred bard area, I can get away with quite a bit. Less likely to catch me. Let's work on those kettlebells. Eastern Fitness. I have to remember to do this in the sand pit, just in case I drop something. And let's see, do we want to work on throwing daggers or climbing? Throwing's up to 39. Climbing's 31. Let's go practice on the tightrope here. Walk the tightrope. Climbing and agility increased. We actually learned this from a guy named Fast Jimmy, or Jimmy the Hand, has written some long articles on how to play this game, and we actually learned from him that the tightrope walking is one of the most efficient things you can do. I would say that the defense dummies are probably the next best because they give you both defense and combat skill. If somebody could hurt themselves falling off this thing. We tried to keep it pretty balanced, but yeah, Sean needs some more work on climbing. Let's see if we could do the ladder station. This is too easy for me. I need something more challenging. How about the rope station? Climb the rope. I'm not going to waste my precious sleep time. What? Oh, it's after midnight. Now, this is the point at which we'd like to have a go-to-bed command that will teleport me to the bedroom. But it's not all that far from here. Up the stairs. I'd like to think this means I'm a rising star in my class. All that stair walking. Into the bedroom. Can't talk to Aeolus. He's already snoring. Might as well get some sleep. Why does morning come so early? My whole day off, and I managed to get to bed too late anyway. This is a accurate analog for Lori and me. If we get to bed at 1 a.m., we're doing really well. I suggest that you get your sleep at night rather than my classroom, says Master von Orvald. Hello, Connor. As I was saying, today we will review the exam you took in our previous class. That's what, 4 hours ago in the slow play?
Yeah, really.
We had a day in between. Most of you did very well on the test. We're not quite running in real time. If we really worked at it, we could probably play this game in real time and take 24 hours to do a game day.
Yeah, we're really doing good.
So we're a fast play compared to that.
What are,
So it's time for the.
what are we up to? What day?
I can't tell while we're in lecture. I think it's about at day 9. Today we'll review the exam. Most of you did very well on the test. I'm gratified to know that I'm not totally wasting my time when lecturing to this class. The first question in the quiz was about the way of the Kuchenschaba. Tell me, which statement was incorrect? That the Kuchenschaba way is about assessing danger, avoiding all danger, looking for hiding places, listening, or all of the above. We can raise our hand or let somebody else answer. So if we show initiative, we're likely to get points for things. If we sit back, and this is true of the entire game, Sean can kind of do nothing, and other students will end up getting all the glory, and not to mention the skill. And Orvald asks, which statement do you believe to be incorrect? We can answer politely or cleverly. I'm going to go with clever. The answer that is most incorrect is all the above, 1, since clearly they aren't all correct. Interesting assessment, Harold Connor. However, what was the answer that invalidated this statement? It was the one about avoiding all danger. Indeed, the way of the Kuchenschaba teaches you to be cautious in the presence of danger rather than to avoid it altogether. And he liked the clever answer. Question number 2 was about avoiding danger. Question number 3 was about possible rogue tools. Anything can be a tool in the hand of a rogue. Question number 4 was about the proper way to throw a dagger. Katie says, I thought the right answer was by the blade, like you demonstrated in class. Master von Orvald, I did mention that the throwing knife I use is weighted so that the blade is the heaviest part. Not all knives are designed that way. I've lost his voice, sorry. How are we supposed to remember that from one demonstration? Fräulein, not all learning takes place in the classroom. There are instructions on throwing weapons posted in the practice room. I suggest you make use of all information around you if you want to be a successful rogue. Well, we certainly had to do that with figuring out what to do with the fireplace at the beginning of the game. And there's other stuff like that all around that you have to look at all the clues. Question number 5 involved avoiding the danger in the first place. Question number 6 was around the most important of all rogue tools. Tell me, who knows what that tool might be? I'm going to go let someone else answer. No, I want the points. Let's raise our hand. Harold Connor? The most important thing a rogue can use is his brains. Master von Orvald. Indeed, it's a pity that some of you don't put your brains to work more often. The next question concerned why we do not speak of the rogue school. The correct answer was that all of the reasons given and more. You should no more admit to being a rogue than you admit to being a thief. The following question concerned why you should show proper respect towards me, but I'm going to look over the sidebar and see what you guys are talking about. All the interesting stuff. Oh, we're the rock stars. Woohoo! Now, the review in a Greek publication said we were mythical titans or something like that. And that was that was pretty weird and exciting. We think we're just kind of like ordinary nerds who happen to have fallen into the right place at the right time. Yeah, we did something like that, Buck, and I don't think we've actually followed through it entirely. We had either a game design session. The highest premium we had was actually to go visit someone at our expense, and we did that. One of our fans in Germany purchased the highest level reward, and We went out to Casual Connect in London and then made a side trip out to southwestern Germany in order to visit him. So that was fun for us, but it was also, a chance to meet the fan and talk over stuff in the game. And he went through stuff that he thought should be changed. Yes, and Darla came to visit us. We had an earlier premium of visit us, and we'll take you on a tour of Yosemite. And Darla came up here, and we spent the day going up to Yosemite Park and just really having an altogether good time. Hey, Mouse is going to bed for real. Yeah, we're rock stars. Yeah, but you're an opera star. So yeah, if you're in the Oakhurst, California area, or going up to Yosemite, let us know. It gives us an excuse to go up there. Why and how are you so smart? Oh God, I've been fighting that my entire life. It's like, Cordy, you're a genius. Well, no, I'm not actually. I am a reasonably intelligent person, and I'm very well educated, and my father, really emphasized learning and worked with me to learn stuff, and I'm curious. And we read a lot of books, but we're not. We're probably above average intelligence. We're not super geniuses, but we do as we apply all the disparate stuff because we love to read and watch movies and stuff, and we take little bits and pieces of it and put it together and make our games. So inspiration to combine so many cultural stories. I don't know. Laurie should be answering that one and talk about storytelling. You want to come over and talk about your...
Actually, I'm typing.
Oh, she's too busy typing.
I'm done answering your typing.
But Laurie's been a storyteller since she was a child. And basically you get your head full of stories and you have to let them go. You have to put them out there. And it's just very rewarding if we can share our stories with many, many people. Rather than keeping them to ourselves. So that's why we love making these games and telling stories. And me, I'm just a snarky kind of guy. Snarky isn't the right word, but I'm a little self-depreciating, as you probably guessed. And I also love making really stupid word plays and puns. So I take all of Laurie's serious writing and try to twist it and turn it silly. And eventually I managed to pervert her into writing some silly stuff too. But she's the great creative genius, if there is one, but really, we're just people with stories to tell that like telling them. We also are people that like to step back from them and say, okay, is this fun to the players? Do we have good balance here? Are we doing something that's going to be enjoyable? Are we working against the player, or are we working with the player? And that's one of the things you learn from playing games like Dungeons & Dragons, is that the object of the game is not to win, because a Dungeon Master can always win. A Dungeon Master can make monsters that can, disintegrate it from a mile away if they want to be, totally cheese it. So they can do anything. We can tell the players, you lose. And that's no fun for anybody. What's really fun is to make challenges that feel really tough and challenging, but somehow the players, through their intelligence and skills, manage to overcome them. And that's playing with the players, and we're on the same side. And that's what we like to do in our games. And I think some game designers kind of forget that at times and try to make games that are impossibly tough. We like to make games that are designed for the player to win, but to make you feel like you have a challenge and a real story along the way. So, Orvald continues. The following question concerned Vayu should show proper respect towards me. The only acceptable answer was, one does not go out of his or her way to provoke a wolf. Well, it seems to me that there was a wolf in the dungeon, and I guess that could have been Fon Orvald, but it seems a little odd. And Katie thought, I thought it was because the rogue rules that we're always supposed to show proper respect towards authority. And Orvald says, you misinterpret the rules, Fräulein McMichael. The rule states, you will demonstrate proper respect for authority in the authority's presence. When you are no longer in my presence, you are welcome to state your own opinions concerning me, flattering or not. On the following question, concerning the way of the Fledermaus, some of you guessed that it was the bat's agility rather than his keen hearing that you are supposed to mimic. If you but recall, that lesson was upon listening skills. The last question concerned the Rogue of the Year. If you did not discern that the correct answer was all of the above, you are unlikely to earn that title. Excellent marks on the test, Herr Sosi, Herr Kent, and Herr Cairo. I shall be watching you all closely in the next exam to prevent you from sharing answers. Fräulein McMichael, you did very well despite the quibbles you had with the phrasing of the questions. Herr O'Connor, you demonstrate that you are indeed capable of learning. Mr. Turk will be most disappointed to learn that you passed this test. Out of a possible 100 points, you scored a respectable 90. We got one wrong. Unfortunately, Fräulein Esme, your score was extremely disappointing. Unless you do something dramatic to improve your grade in the next test, I will have no option but to give you a failing grade. Huh. I'll try, sir. See that you do, Fräulein. For the rest of you who did well in the exam, you now have the opportunity to sign up for elective classes. The university offers the following classes: First Aid and Science. What happened to Magic? Oh, for those of you who show some talent for the mystical arts, like Herr O'Connor, you may also elect to take a basic magic course. These elective classes are held in the afternoon and last until the midterm break. Please inform me which elective you choose to take. Okay, now, our choices here. Take the first aid class. That'll let us make bandages, pills, and potions that are good for healing, and just basically will help me to stay alive in combat. We can buy all those things, but they cost a lot of money. So the first aid class will basically save money. The science class. Take the science class. That'll teach some really cool inventions. And I don't know, what do we learn in basic first semester science?
Blowing things up.
Blowing things up! Bombs! Or we call them booms in this game. So you can learn to make booms and big booms and blow things up. Take a magic class. Well, we learned about magic class talking with Ifataya, and she said that when fighting the undead, there's several different magical runes that are good against the undead. And again, those can be purchased, or you can learn to make them in magic class. So, Anna V says she did first aid the first time. Julie loved the first aid class. Thought it was the most useful and fun. Hey, can you make a healing drink? Roberta goes for the big boom bada boom. And G.A. Laverty says, I did magic. I always do magic. Well, I have to admit, that's my preference too. Corey usually takes a wizard subclass or a wizard main class in just about anything. I don't know, Lori, that's pretty close. What do you think? What are people asking to take? We have first aid. Well, sort of. Anna says she took first aid the first time. Oh, and Roy likes it. So Anna and Julie voted first aid. Roberta voted science. Graham voted magic. So unless we get another vote, it sounds like... Ooh, Tara was glad she chose magic because she liked Professor Fanshawe very much. Never tried not taking an elective. Science. Okay, so far we have 2 votes for science, 2 votes for magic, and 2 votes for first aid. I've done science. That's my vote. Okay, science, it's different. Dr. von Braun. Oh, he's sort of German too. We've got a lot of Germans here. But they're different kinds of Germans. Well, this game is germane to your existence. The science class will take place tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. in the Science Laboratory Tower after the Nido Wing. This is where you actually have to, read the text. I've had many complaints with, they got up to science class and there wasn't any science class there because people don't quite get that word tomorrow. I will see all of you tomorrow. And we now have a quest to make it to science class. So as a result, I had to actually do some recoding here. Let's go to our journal, our quests, and we have a to-do. Make it to science class. Science classes start around 3 o'clock tomorrow in the lab off the Nido Wing. I hope I remember to make it to the first class. And that is actually one of the toughest pieces of journal code that actually changes the journal along the way. Tomorrow it'll say something different. Tiny stuff like that, you'd be surprised, some of the hardest stuff in the game. And of course, I say that because I'm absolutely horrible at graphics programming, and other people do the graphics by magic, and so I don't know how hard it is. We've got 3 things having to do with the Gree-Gree. Ghost dust, dead man's hair, and death's head mushroom. And making the Gree-Gree itself is actually 4. How to talk to ghosts. Oh, that's 5. So really our to-do list is all about talking to ghosts, but we can't do most of it yet. They rephrased agility and climbing for last year. Oh look, I'm yawning just like Sean. So I think I'm going to run up to the dorm corridor. Finally, I'm doing something on the up and up. And wander over to my room. Open the door. And Alice is in here, but his bed is just as messy as usual. I'm going to take a short nap. I'll just catch a few winks for a bit. Oh, that was refreshing. That'll be time to turn the mic over to Lori.
Oh, before you fall asleep at the wheel?
I have been known to fall asleep in the middle of team meetings at Sierra when there are 30 people in the room, and I've been known to fall asleep in the middle of watching action scenes in movies.
Or in the middle of a
Like
raid?
adventure. In the middle of doing a dungeon or a raid in WoW, I've actually nodded off for a few seconds here and there, and suddenly realized that I'm the tank, and I haven't been attacking the monsters. I can fall asleep. I fall asleep on the road. Here you are.
Okie dokie. All right, we've turned over the helm. Waffle Walker, the awful walker. Yes. Yeah, we had not met Al. It was like, Sierra really was this group of people in different little categories and areas, and they didn't actually encourage people to actually get together and meet. Okay, wow, that was refreshing, he says. It is 3:08 in the afternoon. Okay. Sean is no longer tired. Yeah, well. Well, we actually the reason I joined our group, the team, was because we were working with Chris, who was his friend, and Chris was doing our 3D background art for a while, and then he moved on to a different project. But so it was Chris who had worked for Sierra, and we knew him only because he'd worked for Sierra. I don't think we knew Chris first person either. Of course, half our team, well, most of our team, we never actually have met in person. We've never gotten to meet Sydney because she lives over in New York, and sometimes Florida, and sometimes France, so we've never met her. And JP's never met him in person. We have very few people. But, well, it's amazing that we can work like this. We just work on trust and Slack, keeping in touch via the computer. And we have meetings twice a week when we're, going full speed. All right, it's 3 in the afternoon, and we haven't done our work. Connor, you are wearing the school uniform, I see. It's a slight improvement to your appearance. Can't complain. Yay! Okay. I think we could go to the library and read a book. So you met in Space Quest 6, okay. Yeah. talk to the librarian. We could be social. Can be totally unlike, the introvert. Some of us are. Chat with the librarian. Greet him. Hi there. How are you today? I am the same as always. Get to know the librarian. So, what do you think about working in the castle? Pretty cool, huh? By the literal interpretation of your question, it is about 20 degrees cooler than the castle, than the ambient temperature outside of the main structure. Ask about the library. How many books are there in this library? There must be hundreds of them. The library currently contains 6,375 unique reference books. Sounds like it contains every book ever written. That is a gross underestimate of the magnitude of literature. This library specializes in books of historical facts and philosophies, with a scattering of educational manuals added by the university staff. Say goodbye. Nice talking with you. Indeed. Aha. Well, that was useful, maybe. I will go look at this book. Look at the book. Oh, actually, it looks like the same time looked like the last time we were here. But let's read the book. Yes, there are a couple of new pages to read. Veliana, Mortuai, and Aquino intoned the last words of the ritual of closing as Sir Hans, Sir Jameis, and Wim valiantly fought to drive the Dark One back into the Chaos Realm. Suddenly, Gorgoloth reached out a tentacle and seized Veliana. As it dragged her toward the gate, it fed upon her soul. With a mighty spell, Mortuai blasted the tentacle, tearing it asunder. Sir Jameis and Sir Hans closed the gate, banishing the Dark One back to the Chaos Realm. But Veliana lay lifeless upon the ritual floor in a pool of ichor. Despite the power of Mortuai's magic and Sir Jameis's faith, they could not restore the Seeress's soul. And that's all I can read right now. At least let me know if they sell Veliana, if they save Veliana. Not all heroic tales have happy endings. Oh. Good night, Sarah. Thanks for coming. We have read our book for the day, and we know there's not all tales have happy endings. Okay. So let's go over, since we still have an afternoon to play out, we'll go listen at the door. Sounds like someone slammed shut a desk drawer. Let's open the door. What's new with you, Ginger Snap? Okay. Let's talk to Sophia. Oh, why does it take me over there? I don't want to go over there. I want to go over here. I want to talk to her. Come on. Back, back, back. Yes, we're happy to stream. It's been fun talking to you. Okay, let's talk to Sophia. Oop, I don't have anything to say. Come back later. Well, that isn't correct. Flirt with Sophia. Compliment Sophia. We've done her. Oh, the lips. Do we have something better? You have pretty lips. I can't wait to kiss them. Don't hold your breath, dearie. You won't be tasting these lips anytime soon. Oh, I guess we better leave Sophia alone, because she isn't really interested in our snappy, Larry laugher like come on lines. Yeah, well, let's just put it this way. Sean isn't always as suave and debonair as he'd like to be, you know. Open the door. Play the game. Card theory first. Oh, is this Science Day? Or is that tomorrow? I lost track of time. This is the day of the science that you're...
If it's next day, it's,
I don't know. I've just...
I don't think so. I think it's just the day you got to decide. You can look at your journal.
How can I just said to play things.
Yeah, that was the day.
I think this is...
Next day.
I think we're still on the...
Next day we'll have it.
Okay. Yeah, let's check it. It's still day 9. Okay, so this should say... make it a science class. 3 o'clock tomorrow! Yes! We didn't miss it. Otherwise, I'd feel sad. But it's only 4:19. Yeah, really. It's too late to go to science class if this were a science class day. Yeah, we almost didn't get Josh Mandel, and that would have been a pity because he really helped make this game. Okay, yes. This is my cue to rack up some practice time. Let's see, the angle of incidence equals the angle of reflection, whatever that means. No problem. Everybody goes through rough times, especially in this industry. My favorite, one time when I was still working for Sierra, they started to get all authoritarian with us. We had the first game was marvelous. Basically, they threw us in a room with programmers and the artists and said, make a game. And oddly enough, we survived that and came out with a pretty good game. The next game, they wanted to micromanage every aspect of making the game. And it was very rough. And honestly, they had time clocks and made all the artists and programmers use a time clock to sign in every day. And you had to tap in your code to get in through the door.
Yeah, but that seems like such a minor thing
And-
compared to, being forced to do this.
Yeah, but this was just that everything was getting so stressful at Sierra that honestly, after 6 months of going into typing in my code to get into the office, I forgot the code, and I honestly couldn't get into the office. I could never remember that code again. I had to have them give me a different code to get in from then on. So work is, game design is stressful, and people make it all the more stressful. And Sean says, well, with a little bit of practice helps, or so they say. So, yes, our situation here, Sean has got extra agility, extra charm. His luck has gone up, and his gaming has gone up. I'm sure every industry has its bad days, which are very stressful. But they have, this is an industry that is filled with ups and downs, and the highs of working for the game industry are incredible. Yeah, there is something with that you just can't spell a word, you know it? I'm never so busy that I can't take a few moments for a little practice. Yeah, this is the day we really get to practice because, after all, soon we will not have an opportunity. Why, yes, fans make the game. Fans make our lives. We've had marvelous fans over the years. I've got some absolutely incredible fan letters from people. In Quest for Glory 5, there's a character named Wolfie, who is my Indian. Huh? Wolfie? He was in 5. No. Yes. And he was based off of a fan that wrote us a wonderful letter and drew us illustrations. Oh, no, we now Ken occasionally walked around and asked people things, and you never knew what he was going to do. Yeah, and Ken was tact was not necessarily his skill. Yes, I loved Wolfie. I loved writing Wolfie. He was easy to write. And then when we got this voice actor, I believe the same guy who did the voice for the pirate, the leader of the Thieves Guild, actually did Wolfie's voice, if I remember correctly. And he read Wolfie cold. He looked at that script, looked at how the voice was, and he started reading that character cold and bringing that character to life. It was awesome. Oh yeah, we had to put that picture up, that Jim Ferguson's painting behind it. Oh, sorry. We've tried to run all day. We had a couple times where we had to reboot Corey's computer to keep running. So, but so glad you got here, Gene. Yeah, behind where we have, when we took that film with, that had, Jim Ferguson's painting up there, we had a picture of Yosemite across there, and I said, no, we're not going to have that. We're going to get Jim's picture up there, and it'll fill. I mean, I just wish we could have gotten a better shot of it, but yeah, we were very thrilled with it. He is very good, and his work looks so great. Let's open this door. Let's see, there's still time. Oh, let's go chat. Oh, and we're so glad to do things for fans, and especially, well, people who are talented. We really want to promote people who are talented and encourage them to continue to be talented, because after all, it's easy to get discouraged in any creative activity. Welcome back. It's so good to see you so well and healthy. Most students come in are in need of some first aid. Well, let's just be happy. Talk to Moira. Ask about Moira's job. I think that if that's a number one thing you do in the guild, then that guild is pretty damn important. Encouraging artists and actors and everybody. I'm glad to hear that, Jean. Jean is the inspiration and the writer, the creator of Sir Jamis and Wim. And we were really, really pleased to be able to put Sir Jamis into the game, and he is such an incredibly important character in the game. He's about as important as some of the other instructors in the game, so we're glad to have him. Here we are talking here. Sean is talking to Moira. You're a paladin. Shouldn't you be out slaying dragons or something more heroic than healing wounds and teaching students? Seems like kind of a waste of your skills. And Moira replies, there is more to being a paladin than killing things. There's more to being a teacher than lectures and quizzes. My job here is to inspire, to protect, and to help others become the best that they can be. And that's what teachers should do. That's what teachers should believe in. As in, Jean is a teacher. So, yes. No Man and Wolfie. Wolfie actually gets to go home in Quest for Glory 5. No Man meets up with Punny Bones, and they get married. You forgot to cook your dinner properly. That's a shame. That's why we had microwave leftovers from yesterday. And they were lovely. Yes, yeah, and you really check her out. Check out our books. And we will meet No Man and Punny Bones' daughter in an upcoming game. Let's ask about some... Yep. Although Punny Bones doesn't hang out for long. I mean, he's a traveling joker, so he does a lot of traveling. And No Man runs the inn, and No Man goes into all sorts of ventures like making No Man's ale and beer and things like that. She's really very happy. And she's always trying to make money different ways. And she learns to do more for herself than depending on the hero to do it, or Punny Bones. Ask about the other students. So do students often get hurt around here? Well, between the slices and bruises and the occasional broken bone from the warriors, the explosion burn from the scientists, and the cuts of the culinary students, this infirmary sees a lot of patients. And that's just from normal classroom practice. Once they get out of the castle to do field work, I'll be seeing many more combat-related injuries. As a matter of fact, your disbarred bards seem to be the best at keeping out of trouble and taking care of themselves. I do hope that all your visits to the infirmary are social ones. So do I. Flirt with Moira. Are all paladins as pretty as you are? You could convert a villain to a hero just by smiling at him. Would that it were so easy to convert villains. You're gifted with Blarney, you are, Sean. Say goodbye. I'll be going now, but you don't mind me coming by just to talk to you, do you? Come by any day if you want someone to talk to. Come by if you want to take the first aid elective and learn how to heal yourself and others. I'll be here. So, we are close to supper time. I was gonna say, Punny Bones and No Man got together, and No Man's and Punny Bones' daughter will make an appearance in an upcoming game. Oh yeah, it is a problem that it is a school night, so there's morning in the morning always. Fortunately, we have our own schedule. That is the good thing about being on your own and doing things like this. Let's see what I was going to say. Somebody was asking. Oh, I have to actually. Oh, well, I can't remember what I was going to comment on. Oh, is Mortuary in those? Oh, okay, fine. Let's see. Yeah, yes, Punny Bones does not improve a great deal in the end. Oh, good. Yes, endearing character. Oh, that was what I was going to say. That's another voice actor type of thing. We originally had a voice actor that we'd picked from group of only a few people to choose from, and it wasn't very good. And we recorded it, and the person who was running the Yosemite Entertainment, which was the division we were working for at the time, Ken had already moved up and moved out of the company at that point, listened to Noma Ann and could not stand her. And neither could we. And he was willing to go back and retape some voices. So not only did we get to redo Noma Ann, but we got to redo Elsa von Sperlberg, because the person that they had for the actress they had originally for Elsa was a true German woman. I mean, and her accent was so strong and thick that it was hard to understand her, A, and B, it sounded fake to the American ear. So we honestly had to find someone that wasn't quite so German to play the part. But we got an actress who came in to play Nome Ann, and she could read those lines cold. And you know how complicated those lines were. They were like one big mixed up sentence that did not have any punctuation from start to finish until she ran out of breath. And that woman caught it immensely, and that's why I love working with voice actors. Yeah, because the good ones just bring your games to life. And they are fun to work with. And oh yeah, I guess Sean was actually walking in through the door to go to dining room. Open the door. There, we got a sale for you, Gene. Now if we could only sell more for you. Sean says, I don't know what I just ate, but it tasted really, really good. Yeah, he enjoyed it. Okay. And it is day 9. And it is 7 o'clock. And we have 21 lira. Yikes. I think we need to get some more lira. So, probably to the dining room. Well, Gene, you really know horses, so that really makes a difference. You know, you make the horses real. And we don't see enough of Wim to see how unreal he is in the game. But I love that painting of Wim in the game. I think he's beautiful. We were going to have a 3D horse, and we were going to have the horse rear up, and you know, but it would have looked so fake. And then there's that beautiful painting instead, so I'm happy. We'll take the painting. We'll take drama and art over, you know, showing lame things. Yeah, it's not about the realism, it's about the beauty and the emotion of an event. Talk to Epitaph. Ekabo, Mr. Shanshan. Hi. Ask about her day. So how are things going for you today? Things go as well as usual. You say, Mr. Shanshan. Thank you. Ask about working in the kitchen. Well, actually, make a gree-gree. We can't make a gree-gree yet, but we can. You will be needing some hair from a dead man before I can make you a gree-gree. So that didn't go anywhere. Ask about working in the kitchen. Do you have some work for me to do? There is much work for you to do. Let us get started. There's got to be easier way to make money than this. And I sympathize. There's anything that's got to be better than washing dishes and cleaning houses. I do not get around to doing house cleaning nearly as much as perhaps. thank you, G. Yes. And I just love the characters and the relationship. Okay, let's back to the game. Ifatea Kina says, "You do good work, Mr. Shanshan. Good job." Let us say goodbye. I'll be seeing you later. Maria Lipe, Mr. Shanshan. Bye-bye. And we made some money. Enough to get through the day. There are an awful lot of stories we're telling in this game. That's why we said this would be one of the slower walkthroughs of the game, because honestly, we want to tell the stories that are hidden and bedded down here, and how many of these characters become part of the game. None of these things are throwaways. They're all a piece of it. It's night. And this is a beautiful room. I love the flowers. I don't care much for the statues, but, you know. The garden looks inviting. One thing the original thought with this fountain and thing was to have a day where the kids just hang out here in the by the pool and have them all sitting around and talking. We never did get that. It was, you know, sort of like a moment from Persona, in which you know, they did some things like put the kids on vacation. I wanted that sort of thing to go, but we didn't actually get around to it. Yes. How do we know what our credits were? We look on Moby Games. What do we know for references? Well, we look on we look on Wikipedia and Moby Games and anything, because we don't know these things. Let's listen at the door. I think I hear Esme saying something about her test. Ooh, all right, let's open the door. Relax. Since when has fretting ever made anything better? What difference does it make if your grades are poor? It's not like a degree in disbarred bards is going to look good on a job resume. Assuming I do not get expelled for poor grades. Then worry about that when it happens. For now, play a game of cards or something. So, we should go over and talk to Esme. Esme. Hey, Esme, how's it going? You look nice tonight, Sean. Good clothes. I thought I would dress for success. Huh. I recognize that I am wearing my fancy school uniform. Everybody loves a uniform. Talk to Esme. Nice work on the test in class. Thanks. I'm sure you'll do better next time. I am not so sure as you. Are you still worried about the disbarred bards test? Katie's right. It's not worth it. Relax. Enjoy yourself. You understand the lessons in class. You'll just do better next time. So why are you taking this so hard? I understand what Master says, but it is hard to read what he writes. It's like he writes in Germanish. Hey, I agree. It's always hard to understand Master von Erwald, especially with his writing. I had a hard time reading the test, too. I'll see what I can do to help you pass the next test. Thank you, Sean. I will also try very hard to study so I know my lessons. Cheer Esme up. Charming, clever, or snarky? Well, we're trying to cheer her up. Let's try charming. Let's see how charming we can be. Why don't you, Katie, and I go over to the card table and you can show us some of those card tricks that you can do. You have the fastest hands I've ever seen. It'll be fun to see what you can do. Hey, it beats moping. Maybe you can teach us a card trick or two. I can do that. It's easy. Easy for you, maybe. Thank you for showing us those tricks. You are very talented. I will be happy to show you other ways that people cheat at cards. My people are very good at spotting frauds because we know what to look for. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if certain people in this room right now regularly cheated Booba. Saucy, he is not good enough to cheat. Cairo, he is very good. We should all watch him very carefully. Flirt with Esme. I don't think Esme's in the mood to flirt right now. Say goodnight. See you tomorrow. Good night, Sean. Thank you for helping me. Let's go talk to Katie. You don't look as dumpy as you usually look, Sean. Nice to see you wearing nicer things. Thanks. I had a close encounter with Amir and I decided I should dress for success. Okay, let's talk to Katie. Maybe you could cheer Esme up. It's so silly for her to be so upset about a stupid quiz. Ask about Katie. I see you did pretty well on the test. Did you study for it? Who needs to study? The master's quiz is more like solving puzzles and trying to remember a bunch of stupid facts. You just need to figure out what he wants to hear. Talk about helping Esme. Esme's your roommate, isn't she? Maybe you could help her study for the tests. Studying is a waste of time. You either get what the master is saying or you don't. Esme needs to relax. It was just a quiz. Flirt with Kitty. You know, all that time you saved by not studying could be put to good use. You could spend it with me. Right, I could waste time with you instead. Sorry, I got better uses for my time. Will some side releases like Summer Days be entirely different in gameplay? Yes, Summer Days will be entirely different. It's not in the series so much as it's a side game for the series. It's more of a straight adventure storytelling game. See you in class. I think we will say done. So I can look at how good he looks. Let's look at Snappy Sean in his great uniform. That's what people are looking at. So, yeah, it's good looking. He does dress up nicely. He's a good looking guy. But yes, Summer Days will be something completely different. Summer Days will take place the semester before Road to Redemption. So it takes place in the summer, the first school year of the school at the castle. So that's why people don't know much about the castle being occupied right now. And it's got a wild cast and crew of characters. As you saw, that we have Calvin part of it. That I've shared a picture on Facebook of the way the game will look. Totally 2D, spot animations only, and it's designed to just be a fun play. The hero from Quest for Glory, his role in this game is that many of the things he did will be referenced in the games, but he is far away from here. You're listening by phone. I know that's hard. Oh well. Huh? You don't need the white shirt. It just makes him look fancier, but you can't wear the vest and the shirt at the same time. I'm glad you love Shannara. I mean, that's one of those games that it was rough again. 2D ages better than 3. Well, especially Quest for Glory 5 did not age well visually. It sucks visually. Nothing makes me sadder than to have to see that game. The hero of Quest for Canonically, one of them did. If we're sort of, because we don't know who you were in Quest for Glory, and we want that hero to still feel like your character. We don't know if you were Paladin and just said, forget it, I'm not going to be king here, or the thief and decide not to do that, wanted to be just king of thieves. We've sort of stay in the gray area when it comes to what happened in Quest for Glory. Because we don't want to ever overwrite it so that you feel like, oh, that isn't my character anymore. So, therefore, it's Schrodinger's story. The hero may or may not have become the king of Selmaria. And Elsa von Spellberg here, good old Elsa, may or may not have become the king of Selmaria. So, savior of Spellberg and Selmaria. So, yes, we reference them, but we cannot retell what actually happened because we don't know. It's up to you. I'm glad Quest for Glory 5 is your favorite. That was the only game in the series I enjoyed playing. I really loved it. I loved the combat system. Well, I like the combat system in 5 and 4 too. I like that side-scrolling, not quite Mortal Kombat kind of game. So. Yes. Well, what we were going to do, if we had actually managed to have a sequel to Quest for Glory 5, we were going to have the game look at your saved games and see who you were, what character class you were, and who you married if you married someone in the game. And then play as your child. So, therefore, you could play, if you were the warrior and married Elsa, then you probably would have a warrior child. If you married Katrina, then your child probably has magical skills. So all of those things would have created the child, and then your child would be the one to play the next game in the series. And so therefore we would have the ability to allow you to play multiple characters. They just were the same character. Oh yes, I can't actually do that. I can't click on something on this main screen. Huh? Oh cool. 4 years old, eh? Okay. You're a little older. No, let's see. Yeah. You're a little older than my son. Oh, well, no, see, all of these games, nothing was set. You really had to work to get any of the relationships and have fun with the game. So, and there's, as I say, there's no wrong way to play these games. You may not do everything in a game, but, you get to play it again. And you'll find out there's something different. And you'll be a different person when you play the game. It's not just, Al says, talk about that nobody put their best foot forward in Quest for Glory 5. That was one of those games from hell for people that worked on the project. We changed directions on it 3 times. The art had to be redone 3 times, and we had extremely complicated rooms. You ever managed to run as a thief? My gosh, I didn't know you could do that. Wonderful. King and the chief thief. That one's very possible. Oh, yeah. Fun. Yeah, I always played the magic user thief warrior kind of combination as much as possible. So, because that's to me the most fun to play, is to have the most variations on this. All right, let's see. What am I doing? I guess I'm opening the door. Gee. It's easy to get lost. It is day 9. It is 9. It isn't late yet. And what are we doing walking around? We should be running. Okay. Yes, some of us are a little older than 30. You've been retired for 10 years? That's impressive. And you still go to school occasionally, huh? Do substitute work then? Jean? What am I doing? I'm practicing. I was going to pick the lock and do some practicing. Only in our dreams. There was some other one that was out there. I know we could have used commercial products, but we did not. That does the trick. Ah, good. We're getting good at this. Or maybe we just need... at a high-tech... Well, that isn't quite the same thing as elementary school. It's a whole different situation. Pick the lock. High-tech academy sounds like something we'd have in a game. Come on. Where's our skill? We should be getting better. Tool use has not improved today, so... Not easily. This interface doesn't allow you to do things like pick your nose. This says Locker 4. We're back to Locker 4. Practice block picking. Quest for Glory 4. Memorized from the replay, yeah. I think I'm getting this. Ah, yes. Finally, we got some things. And it's getting late. But there's plenty of time to go practice. Actually, for some people, we're practically the guild's grandparents at this point. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, we definitely need more lockpicking stuff. But we won't get it that way. And I'm not, this isn't exactly how I'd be playing the game. I had a regimen, do this, do this, do this. Practice with the dummy, yes. Well, good. I'm glad Dean says that some of these kids might be future game developers. I hope they'll be future scientists, personally. Take that, you feed. The game industry is nasty. So I wouldn't wish it on. You look so bored. You should spruce yourself up. Yes, we taunted the monster. That's good. Let's go do walk the tightrope. Aging is awesome. It's certainly better than the alternative. Indeed. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, like, as long as you are enjoying life and still doing something with it, then life is great. The tightrope walking is bad enough, but sticking the landing is impossible. He's still not very good. And it's, uh-oh, time to go to bed. Sigh. Whoop. Let's run around in a circle, why don't we? I haven't gotten to play Stardew Valley. I bought it in my, whatever it is, GOG or Steam thing was screwed up, and so I never actually got to play it. And it's the one game I do want to play. Almost day 11, almost time to actually do our science stuff. Weird science, as Corey says. Open the door. Or as he sings more properly. Okay, it's bedtime. Let's go to bed. Go sleep. Yeah, Sean has a lot of work to do. Yeah, it's just sad. And guess what? I will continue my lecture when Herr O'Connor ceases to yawn without the courtesy of covering his gaping mouth. Hey, late again. Did I miss it? No, we haven't come to science class. We have not yet missed it. As I was saying, I expect you all to have your lockpicks by now and to have read the manual upon the usage. This is the first step towards the mastery of the lockpick. It takes practice to do this smoothly and quickly. Remember, the locker room is open for practice. The easiest locks are on the table. If you cannot open the lockers, then you had better spend the rest of class practicing until you get the knack. Any questions? Ask for a demonstration. Ask a snarky question or say nothing. Jean says these are brilliant kids. This is one top of the high school in the... Wow. I am so... that's great. That's such a wonderful thing. I love science. I've always loved science. The saddest thing... I love TV tropes. Has huge, long... things about how Quest for Glory has created all these tropes, and we're mentioned, we practically have our own entries for a lot of tropes, but one of the saddest tropes we had was that science is not necessarily, the smartest people in the world, the scientists, and I was really sad at that, because that is not the message I really want our games to actually do it. I want our messages of science is how credible science is. I really love it. Yeah, well, math would be something for all of us to be. Corey is the mathematician here. And even Corey had trouble with math in college, so it's never easy. I think I am going to ask a snarky question because I feel like I got stomped on for snoring in class. Yes. Is it true what they say about rogues? That rogues do it from behind? I will give you the opportunity now to improve your lock-picking skills. Use your time wisely. Oh, and if you are taking an elective class, you need to get to your next classroom by 3 this afternoon. All right, we shall go over here. Listen at the door. Listen to the door. I can't really make it out, but there are some minor noises in there. Maybe someone is practicing with their thieves' tools. And let us pick the lock. And our lock picking skill increased, yes. There's something to be said for junk locks on a door. Oh, and Thomas is here. Nobody else is. Hey there. Talk to Thomas. How come you're here by yourself? I thought this was an assignment. I expected to see everyone here. I overheard Katie and Esme talking about going to the store to buy a new set of lockpicks. And of course, Mr. More Rogue Than Thou, Sosie thinks he's too good at everything to need any practice. I think it's more likely that Mr. Cairo is the expert. Ask about Thomas. So how are things going for you? Rather well, thanks. You seem to take our disbarred bard's lessons so seriously, always doing exactly what the master asks. That doesn't seem very roguish of you. But wouldn't the master get angry if we don't do what he wants us to do? He's a rogue too, isn't he? I'm not so sure he wants us to be good, obedient little children. You may be right. Ask about Sosie. What did you think of Sosie's brag in class? Sosie goes out of his way to ingratiate himself with the master. I'm not so sure he's getting away with it. You mean that von Erwald could see through Sosie too? From the way the master looks whenever Sosie speaks up in class, I think that the master knows that Sosie is a two-faced sycophant. Then I can't wait for the day when the master shows Sosie exactly how the master feels about Sosie. Ask about lockpicks. Do you understand how lockpicks work? I've studied the Beginner's Guide to Lockpicks, and it seems straightforward enough. I just need to practice to teach my hands how to put that knowledge to use. Say goodbye. Have fun with your lock practice. You too. All right. It's still got plenty of time to do a few locks while we're sitting here. I was actually an elementary school teacher because I was educated in Arizona, and they didn't have specialties. You just simply were elementary or secondary ed. Yeah, I was K to 12, so I could have taught any, school. And that's why I taught for 2.5 years on the Indian reservation for my first jobs. Well, actually, my first job was teaching preschool in an interesting preschool before I actually got hired by the... Picked it perfectly. Hey, he's too good for these. And it's almost time for class. And we will not be late for science class. We will hurry up. Because we're going to get to science class. It's almost midnight. We have to get to science class tonight. I must have the strongest quadriceps in the school by now. Yes. Little kids is exhausting. Cotter! Watch yourself, Cotter. One wrong move on your part and you'll be on the streets again. Okay. Thanks, Turk, for letting me know that. I'm so thrilled. Let's see, what are we going to? Science. We're going here. We are going to open this door. Open the door. Hustle, Sean. Yes. Hustle, Sean, because we're going to run out of time if we don't get here. We made it. And we made it before 3 o'clock. Not by much. Class. I am Dr. Emmental von Brunn, and as you were probably aware, this is Science 101, Introduction to Basic Scientific Principles. How many of you wish to pursue a career in science? Raise your hand. Don't reply. Somehow, I don't think Sean's going to reply. No one? Given the appalling lack of proper educational guidelines, it's not surprising that you are all ignorant of the wonders of scientific discovery. Science is the study of the very essence of the universe. From the tiniest atom of sand to the stars of the sky, scientists seek to understand and explain the phenomena of life itself. This class will be a combination of lecture and the practical application of scientific principles. You will have first-hand experience with experimentation. Now, who can tell me what a hypothesis is? Okay, Sean. What is Sean going to answer? Guess it has something to do with triangles. Guess it's an animal. Guess it's the antecedent of a conditional statement. Or keep your mouth shut. And the hypothesis of the triangle. Yes, yes. Let's go with that one. Doesn't it have something to do with the sides of a right triangle? I assume that you are confusing hypothesis with hypotenuse. A hypothesis is a proposed explanation for observed phenomenon. Science is all about creating hypotheses and testing those with theories to prove them true or false. This is the basis of scientific method: observing, hypothesizing, testing, and creating theories. Are there any questions? Okay, we can ask some questions. We can ask about Dr. von Braun. We can ask about the practical application of scientific principles, and we can ask him how we can trust atoms, or say nothing at all. I don't remember if you can do all of it. So, well, I guess I'll ask. Why did you become a scientist, sir? I've always had a burning desire to understand how and why things work the way they do. Why does fire burn? Why is water wet? Why does bread always land butter side down? As a scientist, I can experiment and theorize about these phenomena to my heart's content. Well then, let me lift the blinders of ignorance that blind you all to the wonders of science. And there we have it, the first lecture from von Braun. You don't have to, you can get there as long as you get to the science lab before 4. You can get into class. We were just really lucky that we managed to get it. Well, happy Halloween, everybody. That was Halloween. And that was Hero U. And this is why we play these games, and this is why we create. Yes, socks with sandals. Yes, his not exactly the sartorial expert here. Yeah, I know. Sean, remember the journal, Sean is an unreliable witness, if you know that term. He doesn't always say the things that he thinks. The journal is really just a way of remembering what he did. We were really happy to share Halloween with you. It was a lot of fun. And it was great to see you. We had people all day long, and some of you were here for most of it. I am so thrilled. It was great. And so thank you. We will continue to make our games. We will continue to try to do the best we can to create something that's entertaining and educational and touches your heart, because that's what's important. Thank you all. Thank you very much. So glad you could come here and share this with us. And good night. Corey could type. I can type too. I can type here. I will let... And thank you, Al, for showing up. I'm glad you know, it was good to have you here. We'll save the game here. Maybe we'll pick this up again sometime. This is the new save, and the save is for After Science. Science and treats. Corey didn't even fall asleep. No, he's been there. He's been sitting at that typewriter and on my side of the room where he gets asthma half the time because he can't sit on my side of the room. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll do this again sometime now that we know how to do it. Maybe we'll use Twitch sometime, or we'll do something different. We still kind of think we'll do a Quest for Glory run sometime, and talk about all the things we went through to create that. Let's see, we are going to go quit game here. My gosh. Do you want to quit your game? I thought we did. I think we quit. We already did. It shouldn't do this, but oh well. There we are. That was Quest. That's Hero U. What is your address for the Twitch channel? Our address is Transolar Games right now. But we haven't used it yet. And in fact, we learned how to use this the last couple of days too. So, and Corey was working on it this morning. This goes to show how prepared we are for things like this. Oh well. That's fine. We don't need you to talk. We just want you to be part of it. You're still here, yeah. I'm so glad. I put it up and I stayed on Facebook all today. I've added a lot of pictures and a lot of things, so be sure to take a look at it tomorrow. Great. And I hope you guys, had as much fun as we did. I'm so glad you joined us and so glad you stayed with us, because otherwise this would be a very sad Halloween if you weren't here to share it with us. So, yeah, okay. Yes, it's 40 kids coming over to play trick or treat at our house, and we got to give them candy. Only it's virtual candy because right now it would have been the frozen Almond Joys and frozen Three Musketeers, or so that's what you get in your basket or your bag. And it didn't rain here, so your bag did not get soggy. I love you too, and we're so happy, It makes our day. So thank you very much, and good night. I am gonna sign off now. Stop streaming. I have to... end stream.